What you are watching is a chapter out of my book, The Normies Guide to the Theory of Nothing. Now you do not need to watch the rest of these chapters in order to enjoy this chapter. This chapter is good all on its own. So if you like this chapter as a nice sample of the book, you can watch the rest of the book in order from the beginning, if you enjoy. Namaste, mother duckers. Chapter 22. How to deal with existential crises. Depression sucks. It sucks out your desires, it sucks out your joy, it sucks out your soul. It makes pleasures less pleasurable, it makes personal accomplishments less fulfilling, and it gives your life a decreased sense of meaning. Sometimes the thoughts command your attention as you look up into the void and ask, why do I keep doing this? Would it be better to just stop? This is in essence an existential crisis. I am not depressed, but my wife Kaida does have recurrent major depressive disorder. It seems that around once a month she has some form of existential crisis or another. So during those times, I need to be there for her, listen to the issue at hand, her own existence, and either remind her of a satisfactory logical resolution I've already given her, or present her with a new one. With my theory of nothing, the normie prior to reading this book would probably think that the nothingness can only bring one dread, despair, hopelessness, and melancholy. But that thinking is erroneous, or at least it is incomplete. There is also hope, peace, and laughter to be had. And now, join me, united by nothing, because we go our own ways. But the pit of existential crisis is absurd. It is hilarious. Laugh in spite of it all. No, not that kind of laugh, like a genuine, belly laugh. When my wife is in the pit and I look down at her and I say, hey, isn't it funny how no matter what you do and no matter where you are at, everything will go to nothing eventually? It doesn't matter if you are in the pit, you will go to nothing. It doesn't matter if you are not in the pit, you will go to nothing. The pit itself is destined for nothing. So it's almost like the pit isn't even there at all. There are a few ladders out of the pit of existential crisis, if you'd like, but it's still up to you to climb them. Quit overthinking it and just be. This thought may seem counterintuitive to present to a depressed person at first, but the goal of the last statement is to begin stimulating the understimulated mind. If the pit goes to nothing and the not pit goes to nothing, then the pit is ultimately inconsequential. And from here, it is all about keeping the mind amused, occupied, and stimulated. In essence, the best medicine for depression, beyond an externally sourced stimulation of chemicals, is to do whatever makes you happy in the meantime. Find work that makes you happy. Find entertainment that makes you happy. Find a new source of stimulation and joy, and consume the fuck out of it. Time to take a trip, dude. Get mellow like jello in Monticello. Like, dude, you're taking this existing thing way too seriously. Chill the fuck out, dude. Life is like its own kind of drug, you know? Wait, dude, you want to quit life cold turkey? Nah, that ain't cool. Time to overdose on that laugh. Woo! Feel it! I was not on drugs when I wrote that. But if drugs are what is genuinely needed for you to feel it, seriously, get you some weed, put it in your brownies, chill the fuck out, say, get mellow like jello in Monticello 50 times until it feels weird, and feel it! Drink an extra large caramel and mocha macchiato with no less than 4 extra shots of espresso, and do something. Jiggle your wiggle until it tickles. I don't know. Watch a movie, play a game, roll the 20-sided dice and attribute the 24 meanings of life to each side, except for 0, 1, pain, and death, and do something related to the relevant meanings of life. Quit making an existential well out of a puddle. Quit making Sisyphus' mountain out of a molehill. Pushing a wee pebble up that molehill. Wee! Either stop pushing the damn rock and enjoy watching it rock downhill, or realize that all of your work, all of your existence, is for nothing. Then maybe you can finally rest in the comfort that all that you will ever accomplish, your very being, your very existence, is already accepted by Zilch and Nada. Just be, Zilch, damn it! If you want to work and push the rock up the mountain, nothing will view it as a worthy sacrifice unto her. Blessed be her name. For she sees everything. But existential crises and the worry and dread that comes with it derives from overthinking. So to fix it, think about nothing whilst you are still alive, and just be. For the understimulated neurons correlated with depression, and the overstimulated neurons correlated with anxiety and mania, here's what the theory of nothing states. Depression is negative on the qualia dimension of stimulation, and anxiety is positive. Don't have too much of either. Be null. Seek to be null. The reason why a lot of therapeutic methods ask their constituents to think positive is because those individuals were thinking negatively to begin with. Therapy is not seeking to make people positive. Nay, it is seeking to bring people into equilibrium. It is bringing people into a peaceful and relatively normie state. An existential crisis can happen to anyone who is stressed or tired of existing, but those with bipolar disorder, depression, or crippling anxiety are at the highest risk of developing an existential crisis. Other factors that could arise situationally can come from extremely unpleasant life events like a divorce, losing your social network, losing your primary source of capital, the loss of a loved one, and sometimes a midlife or simply painful life crisis. So if you feel at a -8 on the stimulation dimension and you are plagued by depressing thoughts, counteract it with mania or otherwise positive thoughts of +8, or stimulating drugs that can make you feel like a +8 to get back to 0. Caffeine, antidepressants, and other stimulants should be taken into consideration. If you feel at a +3, counteract it with the existential and otherwise mildly dark, realistic, and pessimistic thoughts of -3, or depressing drugs to get back to 0. Nicotine, alcohol, marijuana, and other depressants should be taken into consideration. If you already feel at peace and in equilibrium, think about these things, Noel. Be in a state of 0. Just be. Take nothing, or possibly hallucinogens, into consideration.